What is up, YouTube? This is AmK at Purple Sky 11, and you're watching part 23 of my deep dive into the investigation of the Benoit tragedy. In this video, we're going to look at the WWE information release that begins on page 330 of the Criminal Investigation Division case file. And then we'll look through this Enterprise rent-a-car information that begins on page 333 of the case file. And if you're even a little bit curious why police were so interested in information Enterprise had about the Benoits and why a grand jury subpoena is tied to that information, stick around. We'll look into all of that in a bit. But first, please be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And sharing this video would be fantastic because this channel is being shadow banned by the YouTube algorithms. And while you're down there, be sure to hit that little bell to receive notifications when future videos drop. And finally, if you like what you see and would like to support the channel, you can find a link to my Cash App in the description box. Contributions of any amount are welcome and greatly appreciated. Your donations are what keeps this channel going. Thank you to everyone who helps out. And now that that's been said, let's get into this video. So let's look at the WWE press information release. Let's see what this says. I know that here it says page 2 out of 3, but I think that the first page was probably just a cover letter, so I don't think that we're really missing much of anything. And there is a second page, but I'm going to zoom in here so I can read this. So it's got the WWE logo there for immediate release. WWE shares internal timeline and details relating to Chris Benoit tragedy. Stamford, Connecticut, June 26, 2007. So this would have been the Tuesday after the welfare check, which led to the discovery of the crime scene. World Wrestling Entertainment today released additional details of what it knows concerning communication with Chris Benoit and authorities before and after the tragic double homicide-suicide involving Benoit, his wife Nancy, and his son Daniel. WWE's timeline of events began on Saturday. On Saturday, June 23rd, Chris Benoit was slated to appear at a WWE live event in Beaumont, Texas. That afternoon, Benoit contacted WWE to inform them that his wife and child were ill and that he would not be able to attend the show. WWE executives rebooked Benoit's flight for the following morning, allowing Benoit to miss the Beaumont event and making alternate arrangements for him to attend the pay-per-view event in Houston on Sunday. WWE employees attempted to confirm with Benoit his travel plans, but were unable to contact him. Early Sunday morning, between 3:51 and 3:58 a.m., Benoit sent 5 text messages to coworkers. Text message 1 to 2 coworkers sent June 24th at 3:53 a.m. from Chris Benoit's cell phone. My physical address is 130 Green Meadow Lane, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Text message number 2 to 2 coworkers sent 6:24 at 3:53 a.m. from Chris Benoit's cell phone. The dogs are in the enclosed pool area. Garage side door is open. Text message 3 to 2 coworkers sent 6:24 at 3:54 a.m. from Nancy Benoit's cell phone. My physical address is 130 Green Meadow Lane, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Text message 4 to 2 coworkers sent 6:24 at 3:55 a.m. from Nancy Benoit's cell phone. My physical address is 130 Green Meadow Lane. And then this next page, this message, text message 4 continued. My physical address is 130 Green Meadow Lane, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Text message number 5 to 1 coworker sent 6:24 at 3:58 a.m. from Nancy Benoit's cell phone. My address is 130 Green Meadow Lane, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. And you can see all of the text messages that were sent from these phones in parts 9 and 10 of my Benoit series. So then they continue with throughout the day on Sunday, WWE made numerous attempts to contact Benoit both at home and at local hospitals in the Atlanta area. Alright, so they did try to contact local hospitals. Remember, the report was that he had taken Nancy and Daniel to the emergency room because they were sick and vomiting from food poisoning. So what did they find? Did they find any evidence that he had taken them to the hospital or not? It says, as of 11 o'clock p.m., WWE officials were unable to establish contact with Chris Benoit. So that sort of tells me that when they called the hospitals, they didn't find anything, unless they had been told, well, he was there, but he's not anymore. But you would think that that would be mentioned one way or another. It seems like that would be something that you would, a question people would want answered. Well, were they at the hospital or were they not? But I can't seem to find an answer to that very simple question. But this press release goes on to say that at 12:30 p.m. on Monday, June 25th, WWE officials were notified of the text messages sent to the co-workers the previous day. By 12:45 p.m., WWE had contacted Fayetteville County Sheriff's Office requesting they check on the Benoit family. And that's where I got these records from, the Fayette County Sheriff's Office. Actually, Fayetteville is the name of the city, and Fayetteville is in Fayette County, so it's not Fayetteville County, but anyway. It's Fayette County Sheriff's Office made contact with WWE at approximately 4 o'clock p.m., advising that they had entered the house of Chris Benoit and found 3 deceased bodies, an adult male, adult female, and a male child. WWE was told that Benoit's home was now considered a major crime scene. The decision to cancel the live event scheduled in Corpus Christi that night was made between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock p.m. In keeping with company policy and with limited knowledge regarding facts of the case, WWE chose to air a memorial dedicated to the career of Chris Benoit. As facts emerged surrounding the case, all tributes to Chris Benoit were removed both on air and on WWE.com. WWE was stunned and saddened by the details released today by local authorities and is continuing to monitor the ongoing investigation. And then it has media contact numbers there. And then that's the end of the press release. Okay, and then we have this Enterprise Rent-A-Car information. And this kind of got me for a second because there's something interesting in here that made my heart skip a beat for sure. So this is the cover letter to the fax, and included in here is their response, and then it also includes the subpoena that this letter here is in response to. So I'm going to read through the subpoena first and then their response, just so you understand why I'm skipping around here. So this is the subpoena for the production of evidence, and it's one of those grand jury subpoenas with first name unknown, last name unknown. And this is to Enterprise from the state of Georgia, Fayette County. It says, you are hereby required to be and appear at the Fayette County Superior Court before the grand jury of said county in the grand jury room of the Fayette County Courthouse at 9 o'clock a.m. on the 10th day of September 2007, and to bring with you into said court certain evidence to be used by the state of Georgia in a certain case pending before the court in the matter of the state of Georgia plaintiff against FNU, LNU defendant there pending. So again, this is yet another grand jury subpoena. And what evidence were they looking for from Enterprise Rent-A-Car? Well, it says the following are hereby subpoenaed. Any and all information, including but not limited to account balances, statements, payments, and transactions involving the June 26, 2007 American Express charge and subsequent refund for card number redacted. Wait, what? June 26th? A transaction? A June 26th American Express charge. But it was June 25th that police discovered the crime scene. They were all deceased on June 26th. So who made this freaking charge? This goes on to say, please include any available information for the rental to include dates and times of the original transaction and information detailing if or when the vehicle was picked up and its return. Failure to provide information could hinder an ongoing criminal investigation. Herein fail not under penalty of the law. Witness the Honorable, and then it's the lists of the judges there who approved this subpoena. This was the 21st date of August 2007. And this says that in lieu of appearing, you may mail or fax the requested information to Detective Harper, Fayette County Sheriff's Department, and all of that right there. And then now let's read the response to the subpoena. So this is from Enterprise. You can see the letterhead right there. And this is to Detective Harper. And it says, "Dear Detective Harper, I am in receipt of a subpoena for the production of evidence in the above referenced case. That subpoena requested information related to a transaction from June 26, 2007 on an American Express card." Well, yeah, I guess they would want that information if the Benoits are all deceased on the 25th. Then who made this transaction with their American Express card on the 26th? And just a reminder, it was also on the 26th of June, the same day this American Express charge for this rental car went through, that the WWE issued this press release. But this response letter goes on to explain that on February 5th, 2007, Nancy Benoit rented a vehicle from the Enterprise location in Union City and provided the above credit card for that rental transaction. The vehicle was rented from February 5th, 2007 to April 9th, 2007. Saturn of Union City had authorized Enterprise to direct bill them for the rental charges from February 5th, 2007 to March 21st, 2007, which totaled $2,688. Mrs. Benoit paid for the remaining rental charges from March 21st, 2007 to April 9th, 2007. Well, all right. This goes on to say, Saturn of Union City did not pay the balance billed to them within 90 days, and that per our rental agreement, the renter, Nancy Benoit, is responsible for all rental charges not paid by a third party. And so, on June 26, 2007, the rental branch charged the credit card on file the unpaid balance of $2,688. So there, that's what allegedly, it's what supposedly happened there. And it says that on the same day, the story hit the media regarding the Benoit deaths, and the credit card was immediately refunded. She says, "I hope this letter satisfies your request for information. Please contact me if you need additional information or have any questions regarding this matter. Sincerely, Paula Adkins, Regional Loss Control Manager, South Region of Atlanta Group, Enterprise Leasing Company of Georgia." So, according to this, nobody used their American Express card to rent a car, which is what I guess maybe they thought had happened when police went through their credit card information. And if we're keeping track of timelines, this was in September 4th, right here is the date here, September 4th, for this subpoena, response to the subpoena. And then we have here is the full rental agreement. And you can see over there to the left that the vehicle that was rented was a silver Tahoe. And you can see that this invoice is for Hummer of Union City. And you can even see the name right here, Kyle Burdig. We talked about him in previous videos. He was the one helping Nancy sell the Benoit's Hummer. And you can see right there in the middle, right here, that it's signed by Nancy Benoit. So there you have it. And that's all I have for you today, but since we're nearing the end of the Benoit series, I thought this would be a good time to let you know where we're at, recap what's been covered a bit, and fill you in on what's still to come. So, just to quickly recap a bit, I began this series, which was only my third video ever, so I apologize for that, but I introduced the topic and explained how I got my hands on these documents, and set the premise comparing Benoit to O.J. Simpson in that O.J. had a glorified defense team overanalyzing every detail, and a trial by a jury of his peers who couldn't find O.J. guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, while Benoit, it is what it is, case closed, and how fair is that? I also went over the official public narrative and the mainstream perception of the timeline of events. We looked through the statements given to investigators by the neighbor, Holly Schrepfer, and a friend of Nancy's, Pam Hildebrand Clark. We read through the Criminal Investigation Division's walkthrough of the crime scene both before and after police obtained the search warrant. And we learned that Overprescribing of opioid prescriptions, Xanax, and Soma was a much bigger problem than steroids for both Chris and Nancy, along with a few other names of note. Then we tediously dug through each and every supplemental report filed by the investigators on the scene and the notes and evidence they gathered during their search through the crime scene. And we even learned what happened with Chris's family in Canada. Then we dug even deeper by looking at evidence regarding Benoit's flight change, and we found out what Nancy was keeping in the safety deposit box. We even looked through the residential and cell phone call records. Then we read through Nancy's text messages, followed by Chris's text messages, autopsy reports, toxicology reports, and that's only half of what has been covered so far in this series. So where we stand now is that I have about 5, maybe 6 more videos focused on Benoit, depending on whether anything comes from this lead I'm looking into down in Florida. So what's left to go through in the police files? Well, I'm working on a video focused specifically on the 5 grand jury subpoenas scattered throughout these documents. And then there is a section titled Conclusions at the very end of Detective Harper's report. And that's about it. And in addition to that, I'm also working on a video about the lawsuit Signature Pharmacy filed against the district attorney who conducted the raid we had talked about in the video about the steroid scandal. And there will be a video that covers conspiracy theories related to the Benoit crime. And finally, a video about my own personal thoughts and reflections, my own conclusions. Plus, you will get links to all the documents so you can download them for yourselves and go to town. Make your own videos, spread the word, whatever you feel like doing. And then after wrapping all of that up, then it's time to start digging into Owen Hart. I haven't read through anything yet. I'm still trying to decide if I want to do a raw reaction reading, just dive in, or if I want to read through it and tackle these documents similar to what I did with these Benoit files. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Comment below. And one last thing. Keep forgetting to mention this, but did you see this? I caught this live when it happened. I had to pause the TV and take this picture. I did a little incognito work to the people's faces in this image, but yep, this was on Clash at the Castle live TV. This was shown at the end. You can see the timestamp right here. But yeah, so did you see this? And what are your thoughts about this? Are they easing their way into talking about Benoit again in the WWE? Leave a comment with your thoughts below. And while you're down there, if you like what you see and would like to support the channel, you can find a link to my Cash App in the description box as well. Your support is what keeps this channel going. Thank you to everyone who has contributed. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This has been AMK at Purple Sky 11, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!